Hi, my dear fellow souls on this planet in this very difficult and challenging Earth school. This video is not for the masses. This is for very select few, very advanced souls. If you're watching this and this is helping you, you may be that one person or two people that this is meant for, that may be going through a lot, and you may be at the top of your development and you don't know it, and it's extremely painful and frustrating. Please share your experience, your comments, and how this recording helped you. I do constantly get a nudge from the spirit world to keep recording, and it's hard for me because I don't get the feedback if this is helping anybody. But who am I to argue with the divine? It is very, very precise at times with me. So, by the way, if you're feeling extremely frustrated and sad and hurt, and maybe you're on the verge of a suicide, that is not necessarily a bad thing. Eckhart Tolle, which is one of the advanced teachers on this planet, he was feeling very depressed, very suicidal for many years, even young. And that's just an indication that very advanced souls, we're just so far in our vibration away from the negativity, from the mainstream, from the media, from hurt, from jealousy that this planet is so filled with. It's a very challenging experience for us. This is maybe one of the last incarnations. This is the last incarnation for me, from what I told, and I am very much alone on this planet. There may be a few more people like me that I can connect to, but I don't know where they are. And we are doing our independent studies on the planet because of the advanced level of our spirits and vibrations. And you maybe are one of those souls. So it's not gonna be 10 million views on my video. It could be 20 views, but it could be the right people. And I hope to reach out to your soul and give you the information that you need to keep advancing on this planet. This video is about my life between the lives, a regression. And let me turn off the volume. You may have considered that or thinking about that. I picked the Michael Newton Institute trained hypnotherapist, JANNA, out of Monaco. And let me share with you, I have been trying to do this for now a year, and it's like the right therapist and the right time has to happen for you to experience it. We are not going to be given access to the life between the lives experience unless your soul is ready, unless you as the person is ready, and unless the right therapist is available for you. When I was looking for the right one, I kept searching, emailing, and Janna's name kept popping up in the directory of Michael Newton, and Michael Newton Institute itself keep popping up. And I finally wrote an email to Paul Aurand, who is one of the teachers and the masters in Life Between Life Regression, since Michael Newton has passed on. And he also recommended JANNA. So I was resistant at first, and then when I finally opened up, I realized that the therapist and I share a very similar background, having to go through very painful and terrible experiences in life, and having to overcome a lot of aggression and corruption and pain and suffering towards us. So it was like an amazing heavenly match. I did sign up for her services. We first did a Past Life Regression, which was about 4 hours, and then you can watch the video about that. And then later we did almost a 5 hours regression into another past life and life between the lives, emphasizing the experience with the council of the wise beings and going over my past life and also the plan for this life and how am I doing now. hopefully you guys will contact Jana or the right specialist for you, and the divine will allow you to experience that time and get some of your vital questions answered. I came in with like 30 questions from why am I so alone on this planet, to I don't know, why am I constantly attacked by people, and apparently energy and black magic and an invisible evil on this planet. So lots of questions. I'm sure you will have yours. The way that she started regression was usual, relaxing exercises and exercising, getting your mind shut off and tuning in to your childhood memories, and then going further into the womb, and then womb experience. Then we went into the past life leading on to this one, and after that the experience in between. The past life that I have had leading in was surprisingly also in Russia. I guess my past few ones were there, because once you're with that soul group entangled in a certain area or region, it's sometimes, I guess, hard to switch the area. If a lot of you souls that you have karmic connections with or lessons you're learning with entangled in this one area, kind of have to keep coming back there. That what happened to me. I found seeing myself in St. Petersburg on a summer day, walking in a black long dress and leather short boots, and catching one of those possibly horse-driven streetcars, tramways, what they're called, but it was about 20s, 30s of St. Petersburg before World War II, experiencing life in a very basic communal style apartment where a bathroom and a kitchen was shared by multiple families. I had lived there with my mother, with my children, and a husband who died first, and then the husband died first, and my mother died. Said goodbye to her in the hospital, so I was left with just the children. But again, the villain that keeps coming back in my every lifetime was in the shape of the evil neighbor, who decided that if he puts me in prison, he will have access to the extra space in our communal apartment. He can take over my couple of rooms and send my kids to an orphanage. And the evil and the greed of man, it takes over, and it takes over my very, very well recognized villain that keeps coming in every life and keeps accumulating more negative karma for himself. So he's not a bad soul, but his body, when he incarnates, just the greed, the anger, the evil just takes over. I guess I rejected him, in his amorous invitations, or I guess were sexual invitations, and he decided, oh, might as well call her into KGB and tell them that she is worshiping Christian faith. She has an image of an icon, Russian Orthodox icon on the wall. She's spreading Christianity. It's not acceptable at that time in the 30s. In the Soviet Russia, I was persecuted. So he did call me in. I did get arrested. I did get sent to a prison work concentration camp, basically in Siberia. And my kids were left orphans. Luckily, they were like 14, 15 at the same time, kind of like they are now when we were separated by, well, I can't discuss that. But anyways, this life is very similar to what's going on now. It's like different faces, different places, the same bullshit that I have to deal with. So I'm sent to the prison camp. I'm in Siberia, a woman like 30s, 40s. But the amazing part, is I started sharing hope and love and faith with people in prison camp. And I don't know why I'm so emotional, because this is not this life, this is a past life. But apparently this was awesome what I did. And the council, when I finally saw the council and reviewed that life after life, they just said the ripple effect from your positivity, from your faith. You had a ripple effect of positivity on people, because some of them left that prison camp, especially when the World War II started. And because of the faith that you shared and the hope that you gave them, they affected thousands of people. Their lives were changed. They were able to survive and withstand the World War II. And the Stalin was able to understand that faith is important. Without faith, they would not get through the World War II. Millions, tens, maybe 100 million Russian people died during the World War II. Without faith, would have been a lot more. So the government eased off the restrictions and started opening up churches. But the council members, when they reviewed my life, my previous life, they said there's ripple effect of evil. When you hurt somebody, there's a ripple effect that goes, and people hurt other people and they have negativity. But you had a ripple effect of positivity in that life. I basically left almost for suicide. I asked the guards to basically admit to their extermination. They often had people that they would just shoot against the wall. You know, we had to dig our own graves, and then they shot us. But I just basically said that the Stalin is the devil and a criminal, and Stalin and Lenin, you know, will burn in hell. That's something I would say in this life about the aggressors that intentionally cause evil on this planet. So my personality, I guess, was affected by my same soul. So when I said those things, you know, they had to report me and basically get me killed, because I was too dangerous for that society as an influencer and as somebody who was very much awake and held to my truth. So I think 6 or 7 of us were executed in mass. But first we had to dig our, you know, graves, I guess a common grave in this cold frozen ground in Siberia was not fun. So I was looking forward to, I guess, dying, and we all had to stand against the wall in this Siberia prison camp and executed en masse. But I felt that, you know, the guards were caring about me and wanting to help me, and I told them that's okay, you know, I'm just ready to go. There's nothing else I can do. I've done everything I can, and I just have to go. I can't suffer anymore. There's no reason for it. So that's how I left that life, and was so excited to raise above my body and leave the planet. You know, see the trees, the great trees and the white grounds, and the barbed wire just disappear as I was flying up and going through a tunnel and getting into the white light, being met again by my guide who looks like Ozzy Osbourne, like, hello Ozzy. I had to go for a lot of healing and clearance with the white light again, just from the trauma and the suffering I experienced in that life. And then I found myself in a council room. See, the first council room, I journeyed with my guide on one side, and I think it was another person. I would have to rewatch the video to remember, but we journeyed by foot through a field, and it was beautiful Russian field, like in fairy tales, and we came to a fork on the road, and there was like a rock, and it was like a rhyme written on it, as in fairy tales, which was rhyme in Russian. If you go to the right, you will find your council members. If you go to the left, you hang out and rest for a while. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to the right. See you guys. I'm going to meet with my council. I was in a Russian, just national traditional dress in this beautiful field. I went towards this mountain. There was like a cave-like opening with a, Russian historic, room, torches on the wall, council. I was there. It was really a comfortable atmosphere. The council, by the way, if you guys haven't heard about the council of the wise beings or regression is comprised of the beings who no longer reincarnate. They have accumulated a lot of experience. They are there to share their wisdom, help soul so that we don't take on too much in our life experiences, and then also review our experiences when we come back after a life. I believe there was about 3 or 4 members. Gender, again, is not an important attribute. We shift genders to experience more feminine or more male-like attributes, so they can choose a gender to portray, but all of us are gender neutral, so to speak, in our real core. That's why some feminine like men and some male like women appear. It's just not important. It's just something we choose to experience one or the other, and we change. So I was there, and we were reviewing the life. I got really high marks and learned forgiveness, faith, love, and most important, I was able to share faith, love, forgiveness with others under very dire circumstances, being in Stalin's prison camp at that life. And I saw them, standing up and applauding me, and I didn't even have the guts to share that with my therapist, because I thought, I don't deserve this. I'm just basic person. I have done normal basic things. I don't deserve such recognition. But they felt that I deserved it, that they applauded me, and they gave me a medal. It was like a gold medallion on a beautiful lace, and it had an eagle on it. I don't know what it means, but they gave me that. We had a discussion, and then my therapist interfered and said, can we ask the questions about this life, now that we've kind of discussed that one. And they actually directed me to a different council, so I guess my council changed for this life, and they directed me to a different room. My guide was able to take me there. It was more modern environment. It was like crystal-like room, almost like ice, but that crystal that transmutes energy, quartz, they make computer parts out of it because it transmits such a high speed. So I was in a quartz-like room that almost looked like ice room. Again, there was light around perimeter, kind of like you see in my room now. There was like light that was coming from, I'm not sure where, but it was very lit up. It was kind of like internal light, and then they had some lights on the walls also. The furniture was almost like carved out of that quartz in that room. There was like a bench all around perimeter and kind of elongated table, smooth rectangular shape. So there was no really corners on that, with some sitting around it. So it wasn't anything extra in the room, but it was just enough to have a productive atmosphere. And the room was spacious. We were sitting around the table. I was on the side, and then there was a table, and 4 or 5 members were on the other side. A lady with white hair was presiding, like white wavy hair, like very wise old soul. And I was able to ask my questions in that room. At some point, as there were so many questions, one of the council members just got up, sat on that bench behind, just laid down, said, okay, just I'm gonna snooze here. Wake me up when something important happens. I'm getting tired of the questions. They really not that important questions. So I just thought it was hilarious that my questions were boring him so much. Obviously, when you are on the other side, you already know all the answers to all the questions. You're connected to all knowing. And so for him, it's like, why you keep asking me if the walls are white? The walls are white. Like, you can already see that. Why do you keep asking me that? Like, they already know everything. But we had our discussion, including asking why, again, I was alone on this planet for so many years, and wasn't there supposed to be a soulmate? And the answer that I got was, you are doing independent study. When you are starting as a young soul, and you have your soul group, you hold hands a lot. You have a soulmate, a spouse that's there for you. You have friends and family that are your soul group. So when you advance and you're in your final incarnations, you do an independent study. You really, for one, there isn't a lot of people that are comparable to your vibration or your level of challenges in this life. Two, you really don't need other people. You're strong and you are internally focused. You're trying to experience all the hardest things and understand and process to do the final stages of your development. Just think about it as the first grade kids are like in a big group versus some advanced physics master's PhD degree student who's doing self-study and doing his own thesis. Big difference, right? He's not doing it as a group study. He's independent study. So I'm doing independent study. And Ray, I guess I did choose my free will. I did experience free will, and they did not expect me to advance and get out of a sect in which I was engulfed, get out of the relationship in which I was many years ago that was limiting my growth. So I wasn't expected to break away from those chains and advance and basically do a lot more than planned for in this life. So these were the three reasons. So congratulations if you're single for many years and you feel like you're completely alone in this planet. You're an advanced soul. We may be in the same soul group, and that's perfectly fine. I meet people, but I feel like my vibration is my vibration, and if I refocus it on somebody else who's completely different, it's gonna take away from me in my personal study, and there's no reason for me to sacrifice my vibrational field to experience somebody on a completely different level that will take away from that, and I would have to lower down to be on that level to maintain that relationship, for one. So I just choose to say no to all the interest that I get from other beings, except when I feel this is something I need to experience. Like, let's say a lady that would maybe challenge me and give me some bites of knowledge that I need to step through, or if I need to help somebody and maybe they're stuck somewhere and I need to give them that piece of the puzzle, then I will engage with that person, but not seeking any friendships or relationships for the sake of those, as I'm very comfortable in my independent study, and I don't feel like I need to do some hand holding with somebody just to hold somebody's hand. My children, which are extremely separated right now, not by my choice, not my will, and it's very painful, we also came in as a soul group. We give each other pieces of the puzzle to grow. So I really wish, I was with them. I really miss them, but it's also very important, I guess, our separation to give us that painful experience that we need right now to grow. The council they cancel. At some point we did call in my spirit guide. We did call in the spirit guide of the villain in my life that hurt and keeps hurting me a lot. It was a young lady who was a spirit guide, and she came in, she was filing her nails, kind of showing it how bored she is in her job as a spirit guide of a man who is kind of the abuser in my life. And we were like, are you working with his soul, personality? Are you trying to get this person to open up and see the light and be more positive and stop hurting and abusing people? And she's like, I wish, but he doesn't believe in spirit guides. He doesn't talk to me. He doesn't respond to anything. He just shut down spiritually, and there's nothing I can do. I can just sit here and file nails and wait till he dies. That's about what, all she said is her job is, which is very frustrating for her and such a waste of a lifetime for the guy. We asked her if maybe she can work through her dreams. Maybe she can come into his dreams through deceased family members and maybe try to give him a sense that what he's doing is a waste of life right now, and accumulation of so much negative karma that he is doing for, hurting me for the third life straight, or maybe many more. I just seen the three. The Soviet Union, he hurt me, he ratted me into the communism. In the 19th century, he poisoned me so he can steal the money and take over my estate and get on with his girlfriend. This life is doing the same crazy shit. It's like, come on, man, how much negative karma do you really need before your soul realizes maybe this is not the right way? Maybe this life is about love and faith and hope and forgiveness, and not charging at people if you have the power, and not abusing people. Oh well. So that's his karma. And I was asking, maybe I did something, did I do something to hurt this guy? Maybe I hurt him in the previous life. Did I do something terrible to him? I was like, no. You gave him a chance to come back to this life and treat you right, to basically reverse what the evil he has done to you before. So I kind of gave him this opportunity, and he comes in. He probably has a decent soul, but when he comes into this physical body, it just takes over and he becomes the evil monster, unfortunately. So it's his karma, nothing I have done, and he'll just have to, work through his ripple effect of evil and negativity that he creates on this planet, which is very sad. But if he doesn't change, as we know from Michael Newton, many thousands of regressions, souls that don't change, they kind of reformed. They have to break them apart because nothing really helps. So it's kind of like the only way you can really die as a soul is you're gonna get this reformation. You're gonna be refixed and a lot of light put in and things manipulated. So you're gonna lose your identity really. So that's the worst thing that can happen to you, is the spiritual death. So if you are an aggressor for many years and you're not getting any better, you would have to do that. And of course the soul, when the soul of aggressor comes to the other side, they feel so terrible. They're like, okay, I've been raping and plundering, let me go back and be the rape victim and the plundering victim and experience that. So they do come back and they do experience that pain and suffering. But if that still doesn't help, and then they keep aggressing and keep hurting other people, then they get reformed into something new. So spiritual death awaits those who just keep hurting people and then can't grow on this planet. What else from my experience on the other side? My guide Ozzy was really cool, but he's like, I cannot do anything else. But soon your pain and suffering will alleviate. You will get a much better experience. We will try to find your soulmate or soul group so that you can experience that on this planet as well. which would be interesting for me. We'll see. So I guess there's a lot of positive things coming in. I asked for protection for black magic. They did give me a lot of cleansing with the fire, and they did give me protective cloak, and they also gave me a new guide just for the black magic protection. This man, really, really cool Viking-like dude in full medieval armor. Man, hi. Thank you for doing a great job. Please protect me from attacks of the evil. And I guess when you are very advanced, the evil forces realize you can do a lot of damage to their plans. You can do a lot of positive ripple effect on this planet. So yes, you're gonna have all the evil in the world, all the corruption and police and whatever, FBI, they're gonna be out there to get you. Just because the evil will inspire them, go after that person, go after that person, go after that person. She is dangerous to our evil plans as the evil. And the evil forces are here to lower your vibration, to give you hopelessness, fear, negativity. And I guess I'm the worker of light, so I am endangering them. By the way, did you notice in my previous video, it was completely normal when I shot it. When I posted it, it was like purple light. It was strange lights. Like it was all this crazy vibration. They even affect the video devices in YouTube. And then I had a fire after. It was like blow up in a fire after that video in my home. It's crazy what I experienced, and luckily I'm no longer afraid of all the sounds, of all the fires, of things that the evil does. I just keep praying and asking for my guides, for the forces of light, for archangels to protect me, and I do get that protection. I have to tell you a story. The other day I heard this pop in the kitchen. I'm like, what's going on? I don't really have anybody in the apartment, so I went there, and sure enough, there was a glass water bottle, you know, one of those $2 water bottles that I was recycling, reusing, like some Norwegian glass water bottle was on fire. And how did it happen? There was a little tea light candle sitting on top of it, of the glass bottle, and I put it on the bottle so to protect it so it doesn't burn the table, doesn't, you know, have any heat damage. The whole thing blew up. The bottle is on fire, and it's glass. The plastic top is on fire. There is wax all over the place, and it was a white tea candle, like the little mini one. It was black wax on the place. I had to do a lot of cleaning, pick up the broken, shattered glass, to pick up the black wax. It's definitely the work of evil forces. Stuff like this you can see, you know, in sci-fi movies about fighting evil. So that's how my life is, you guys. But I keep praying and hoping. I do get a lot of signs and synchronicity, even more so since my regression. I do hope that this gives you hope and positivity, and you feel something in your hearts. And when you do, please write comments, so I will read your comments, so I can see if this is helpful to anybody. And then if you want me to share more details of my regression, which was a 5-hour experience, I will. But overall, it was really, really cool. The guides, the council of wise beings is pretty awesome. They're neutral. They don't punish you. They share with you their knowledge, and I felt very surprised by the answers, which was an indication to me that I'm not making it up in my mind, because the answers that they gave me is something I would never come up with. I was always wondering, everybody's supposed to have a family. Why don't I have a family? You know, where's my soulmate? And they're like, you don't need a soulmate. You're an independent study. come on, you're like an advanced soul. You don't need a soulmate. I didn't know anything about that. And now that I've watched other regression videos, I realize that actually this is a standard answer, that advanced human incarnated beings don't need hand holding. They do an independent study, which is really good to know. There's so much to share, but please carry on the good work, and remember, even if you just be, even if you just share a smile, even if you're having a terrible day, just be, just get through the day, it still is fulfilling your life purpose. Just don't share the ripple effect of negativity, because if you drop that evil in the middle of the water surface, it's going to have this ripple effect of negativity and can touch many lives for worse. Just don't do that. And that's sometimes it's the best we can do. If somebody's really annoying you in that Walmart store for not wearing a mask, just don't let that negativity bottle up. That person may have very legitimate reasons for not wearing that mask, and maybe it's better if he's not wearing the mask versus somebody who's wearing one but sneezing left and right and putting his bugs all over the place. If you're not meant to die, you're not gonna die. So just best thing is not to worry about what can happen, but try to experience and share positivity no matter what, in any environment, just like my soul did in that Russian Stalin prison, Soviet camp, war camp in Siberia in the 30s, just before the World War II. Love you all, my amazing soul group. Can't wait to see you on the other side. Bye.